know if you're interested in this. If you're interested in knowing more about this subject, please leave the hashtags down in the comments saying, show me the money. If you're watching this live, please say that you're live as well. And if you're watching this as a replay, play, hashtag replay as well, show the money. So once more, if you're interested in knowing this, heart this, like this. I'm told Facebook likes and loves the loves. They love the hearts much more, and it gets the word out. And you'd be doing an enormous favor towards the advancement of the Society Nonprofit Board Directors. Again, the society, the association for people who volunteer their leadership and board, their skills on the boards of nonprofits and associations, charities, foundations, everywhere. So getting back to our topic here. Why is this so important? Now, everybody needs money, but I am personally more and more convinced that associations, not-for-profits, and the like need to get off of what I call the two biggest failings, if you will. The first biggest failing is that the mentality of poverty, that only really very much that they have to just live with what they have, and they're always looking for and struggling for things. There are ways that if you're willing to become entrepreneurial, you can grow your association, and yes, you can declare your financial freedom down the line if you're focused on that. The criteria for that is to drop the mentality of poverty. Again, nonprofit does not mean poor. It does not mean you don't make profit. Nonprofit means that the monies that your organization make are all reinvested into the mission of the organization. There's a far big difference than that, okay? So if you can drop it, I think first and foremost, it's a mentality thing. And the next biggest challenge with this, and related to this, is that because of this mentality trap that many of them are stuck in, I find so many of them are kept hostage by focusing so much of their efforts on going after grants, whether they be corporate or government. I think the latter, frankly, in my own opinion, experience has been worse, but maybe if you've got comments or anything like this, please, I'd love to entertain in a dialogue with this. The biggest problem I've got with those, particularly the latter, is that they can be such fickle partners to work with. They're with you one day, and then perhaps next another. Changes happen in government policy, and your issue is no longer the top flavor of the day. The other biggest problem with that happens often enough with corporate grants, government as well, is that very few of them really want to or are willing to invest in capital costs. It costs money to hire good paid staff. You have to be able to be willing to do that. You've got capital costs to put the lights on. You've got capital costs to pay for IT and all our other things to keep an organization moving forward as well. So when I started off with the Society of another one of my organizations I work, which was the Association of Consulting Engineering Companies, we had just 3 partners, 3 sponsors that had been with the organization for a long time, and they'd been great. They just bought into the mission, but the association realized that it was time to diversify their revenues and to increase their financial capacity because of a variety of things that happened in their environment meant that unfortunately they found themselves with a few projected years in the red. So I set out very succinctly and targeted because we knew that although I had a long-term objective of $300,000 in brand new revenues to acquire in 3 years, we wanted to make a big punch and show before the board that progress was going to be happening. And we only had a conference coming up in early fall, and it was June. We wanted to show some impact. So I set out very clearly on 3 primary steps to really rush this process forward. First, we went out and got really clear about what our assets were, our valuable assets were, by talking to our current and past partners, what they valued. 2, we went very clearly out and we built most importantly, a prospect list. So often I hear about associations, not-for-profit charities, and I ask them what's in their database. Maybe they have some sort of a CRM, Razor's Edge, whatever that may be. I'm talking about building a fundamentally important, high-impact list of prospects that you really want to go in, and based on what you think that you could really add value to their marketing objectives. This goes back to what I was talking about, changing the mentality, is approaching fundraising, approaching sponsorship very much like an entrepreneurial initiative, matching up your mission with that of how a company or donor or whatever that may be they're looking to accomplish as well. So we built this high impact prospect list, and I went out to market. Let me tell you something. And we took an approach of not just taking what I call which is a big problem, what we call the GSB, the gold, silver, bronze. Thou shalt take our logo, slap it up, and we'll charge a hefty price for it, and you will be happy with it, won't you? No. Went out very clearly and consulted and said, what works for you in your marketplace, and how can we assist you? And the result of that in the end was some $20,000 in brand new revenues by the time that we went to that conference as well. So folks, if you're really interested in knowing more about this whole process, if you're interested in jacking up your capabilities of raising money and declaring financial independence for your non-for-profit organization, come talk to me, message me. I'd love to have a little bit of a chat about how we can up that your fundraising and your revenue situations, so that we can strengthen your organization and strengthen non-for-profit organization capabilities everywhere. Thanks very much. Heart this message, share the message out. Thanks again, everyone.